The one who has been blowing things up for the past few months remains unseen. At this point, I'd like to think they're done for a while. It will certainly provide some of the peace of mind I have lacked since the sporadic blowing shit up in town began back in August. I finally brought Terry in on Wednesday, and he did find something on my main computer, but could not tell me what it actually is. He said he would be doing some research, but I am not confident this will work out very well. I don't trust the situation enough to move anything from one place to another, either. I've been busy enough copying by hand anything I don't already have as a paper file, which isn't all that much relatively, but there are quite a few I have yet to duplicate. As of this moment, I have not heard anything concrete back from Terry nor Jerry, but I never hear anything that means anything from Jerry anyways. To oppose that, I received a call from Henma on Wednesday night. After 6 weeks of planning, we are ready to proceed with everything on their end, and as far as I'm aware, that applies to my end as well. I have my technicians and my mercenaries, and so long as Henma's planning works with who we have, all we have left to do is meet to finalize. We had a meeting yesterday, and we have one planned for Tuesday. The heist will take place on Thursday, so you will hear about it in next week's upload. Cole and Michael will be staying here Wednesday night to prevent any inconvenient delays. Normally I would not go to the trouble, but Michael can't exactly stay at his parents' the night before a heist, and Cole invited themselves over before I could extend the invitation. Speaking of Cole and Michael, they have contributed more than I expected to preparing for this heist. The only downside to this is that they have been at my house far more than I would like, or rather, far more than I ever expected I would have people at my house, which means I am not equipped to feed this many of them. I also viewed Cole taking over my kitchen as an inconvenience at first, but I've found they are far more equipped to produce a meal of any capacity than I have ever been. Michael can cook as well, also far better than I can, which is strange, considering I've been living on my own for 4 years and he has never lived anywhere but his parents' house, but I suppose it is a result of his upbringing. However, his upbringing has affected his cooking skill. It has led to the ability to create a hell of a stir-fry. Remarkably, and a bit disturbingly, I found that I can, for the most part, tolerate both of them at length. They may both be a bit excitable, but there is a sense of underlying maturity that emerges as the situation calls. Regarding Cole, they've studied human psychology at length, and not only is his valuable knowledge in the professional setting they've created for themselves, it also proves worthy in casual conversation, providing they have no ulterior motives. Was I their enemy, it would not be as enjoyable a skill. Regarding Michael, he is a bit more incessantly cheerful than Cole and I put together, but overall, he is good at his job and hasn't attempted to kill either of us yet, so I could give him more credit, but I am withholding judgment until further knowledge of his motives is gained. At this point, I know of him as someone who idolized me as a teenager with a bit of professional motivation and not much else, and there is no way that is the only motivation he has had for the past year and a half. I haven't done an outside contribution in a while, and I certainly won't have time next week if the heist proceeds as planned, so we'll do one this week. Cole recently shared another story with me regarding one of their negotiations, and it is certainly something. The group that hired me had been encroaching a little on a local mafia's territory. They hired me to convince the leaders of that mafia that they meant no harm. We ended up with a meeting at least, rather than everyone just declaring war on each other, but even that was a stretch. The meeting was tense, with everyone at odds with everyone else, but the territory negotiations were going well until this mafioso started throwing around slurs left and right when we didn't give him everything he wanted right away. One of the group members on my side punched him in the nose, and they decided to end any attempt at negotiation there. I still talk to one of them, and they say they're doing pretty well for themselves in that town. Pushed the mafia out and everything, somehow. It's good to see independent groups take control through work and perseverance rather than families that receive their power by heritage. As for punching the mafioso in the face, I won't say it was a bad call, if a bit dramatic. It sounds as if he deserved it. Regardless, it's always a bit humbling, and he needed that much at least. Thank you for listening. You can find me at diaryofamastermind@gmail.com.